So I'm sitting here in my chat room, the Your Moral Leader chat room, and making instructional videos on request. So now I've been asked to make a video on why I believe in God and why others should too. So I was also asked to make a video on how to do the horror. I was also asked to make a video on how to do a whore. And I was also asked to do a video on how to do the perfect pickup. But as I have to clean up my life these days, those pesky rabbis, what is that? So I can't do any like sexually related material anymore. So I've turned over a new leaf. I've seen the light. I've been born again. Okay, so they want to know what a female kangaroo is called. I don't know. A joey is a baby kangaroo. So that's a joey. So anyway, this video is about God. So why do I believe in God? Well, I'm a preacher's kid, so I was always raised with like belief in God and presence of God. And by the way, a male kangaroo is called a buck. It is also commonly called a boomer or an old man. A female kangaroo is called a doe or a flyer. So probably the most famous thing that my parents said to me that still sticks in my memory, that haunted me everything I did, was, be sure your sins will find you out. So I always was raised with a sense that there's, call me boomer. Okay, call me boomer rather than old man. Call me boomer. So I was always raised with a sense that God was watching everything I did. And that's why I've led such a, highly moral life. And then I went to college and I got into atheistic communism for a couple of years. And then I went to Los Angeles to UCLA and I started listening to Dennis Prager on the radio. And I really became interested in Judaism. So in the summer of 1989, someone asked my mother, where is Luke spiritually? And she said, well, he's kind of halfway between communism and Judaism. So here's the book that changed my life. Everything that I am today is because of this book. The 9 questions people ask about Judaism. So, question number 1 is, can one doubt God's existence and still be a good Jew? Yes. Rabbi Emanuel Rachman, in his book, The Condition of Jewish Belief, he's a modern Orthodox rabbi. God may have his own reasons for denying us certainty with regard to his existence and nature. One reason apparent to us is that man's certainty with regard to anything is poison to his soul. Who knows this better than moderns who have had to cope with dogmatic fascists, communists, and even scientists? Okay, so here's another great quote. This is from Milton Steinberg in his book, Anatomy of Faith. If the believer has his troubles with evil, the atheist has more and graver difficulties to contend with. Reality stumps him altogether, leaving him baffled not by one consideration but by many, from the existence of natural law through the instinctual cunning of the insect to the brain of the genius and the heart of the prophet. Brain of the genius, heart of the prophet. This then is the intellectual reason for believing in God, that though this belief is not free from difficulties, it stands out head and shoulders as the best answer to the riddle of the universe. Remember, my mother was reading me this book in summer of 1989 because I had chronic fatigue syndrome. I was too sick to read myself. And as soon as I heard that paragraph there from Milton Steinberg, I felt a great sense of relief and okay, I can believe in God. So, number 1, Judaism emphasizes deed over creed. So, what you do is more important than what you believe. Okay, first reason to posit God's existence is the need to posit God's existence. There is no God, there are no right and wrongs that transcend personal preference. Gases and molecules, the laws of nature are not good or evil, right or wrong. So moral judgments are purely subjective unless there's a transcendent source that you can refer to. So, ultimate purpose, there's no ultimate purpose in life unless there's a transcendent eternal God. And if there's an eternal God, it doesn't make sense that he would only create us for a finite time. So it also makes sense that there is some kind of afterlife. Okay, so design suggests to us a designer. Law a lawgiver, creation a creator, intelligence a source of intelligence, and conscience suggests a God. So there are two possible explanations for creation, that everything comes from chance and coincidence or from design and purpose. So this is the argument from design. There was a famous philosopher who was asked to give a one-word argument for God's existence, and he said Jew. So the survival of the Jewish people is an argument that they were indeed chosen by God. Then why would the idea of God even come about unless there was some reality for it? How do I know that God is real? I don't know. It's just makes more sense to me that intelligence comes from intelligence than that it comes from non-intelligence. And without God, there's no objective morality, as Dostoevsky wrote in The Brothers Karamazov, where there is no God, all is permitted. So atheism denies God. What does it affirm? Nothing. It just means no belief in God. So this is a great book, The 9 Questions People Ask About Judaism, and does a far better job on the God question and the Judaism questions than I can. I'm getting tired, so I'd rather talk about how to be a confident kisser right now. So thank you for listening. I hope you found this inspiring.